everybody. This is Jason again, back with another review. This time, just a one and done type thing, not a series. And with that theme music, you may notice it is Raising Arizona. And I'm showing you this because I don't have the actual cover for it. The only one I got is the disc. I do have the disc, the DVD. I don't have the Blu-ray, so... But this is one that I can watch over and over and over. It's hilarious. It stars Nicolas Cage. He plays H.I. McDonough. It stars also Holly Hunter, which ends up being his wife, and a couple other ones. I mean, I won't get into all of them, but the cast is hilarious. Already going to say this, highly recommend this one. Basically, you're introduced to H.I. McDonough, which is Nicolas Cage, and he is just in and out of prison. You know, he goes to convenience stores and robs them, steals the money and other stuff. So he's just in and out, and just the interaction that you see in the beginning, especially. And then that's when you also meet John Goodman. He's also in prison, and that's where he meets Hi. And then you also notice that the Holly Hunter character works there. She works in the jail, and she's taking fingerprints, taking the prison photos and stuff like that. So that's how they first meet. He's in and out. It shows him like 5 different times. It's absolutely hilarious. So what happens is he's finally getting out. You know, one of many times he gets out. And the next time he comes back in there, he proposes to her. And they get married. And they try to have a kid, but they find out that she can't have kids. And you know, it's a little sad, that part of it. But it's a comedy also. But when you find that out, you're like, oh, that's too bad. It shows, it's like a monologue as Nicolas Cage is telling a story or talking. That's when you see all these little shots. You notice that they're at a doctor's office, and the doctors explain to her that, she can't get pregnant. Well, then the news comes out. There's a couple, Nathan Arizona and his wife, had quintuplets, I believe it was. So it was like perfect for them to think that, hey, we can just take one of them. They're not going to miss it. By this time, she had already left the force. So, and he does what he does. So they figured they would go over and take one of the babies. And I forget, they named, there's like 5 babies, and they name them, I don't know, I think it was like, I can't even remember what the names are, but I know they all rhyme, and then they get to the 5th one, it's Nathan Jr., which is the one they take. And that scene also, where they take it, or he tries to take it, I should say, the first time. He's up in a ladder, and he's looking through the window while the Nathan Arizona's wife is over there cuddling the babies, and it's just hilarious. He goes down there and tells Holly Hunter, hey, I can't get one, and she like slaps him or something like that and says, you go up there and give me, one of them. So he ends up getting it. They bring him home, and every scene in here is absolutely hilarious. Well, then. And there's a huge banner that says "Welcome home, son." It's funny, and he's introducing the baby to their trailer that they've got together, and this is in Tempe, Arizona. And boy, does this movie make people in Arizona look horrible. I mean, like redneckish, and it's just like, it's funny. I think they do it on purpose, obviously. So I'm not gonna nitpick on that, but it's absolutely hilarious. You then find out that John Goodman and another guy, I can't remember what his name is, but they break out of prison, and you see them coming out of a tunnel, I guess, that they had done out of the jail and then up. And then they're just so filthy and nasty. Apparently they broke out of the sewer line. And so yeah, that's what happened. And the only place they know where to go is to go to H.I. McDonough's place. And so they do that. They meet the wife, they meet the baby, and they just tell them that, hey, we adopted. It was real quick. We adopted the baby. Just the interaction between those two, or those three, John Goodman, the other guy, and then Nicolas Cage. Those guys together were funny. Holly Hunter did not like those two, but she agreed, hey, go ahead and stay there for the night, and then the next morning you guys need to go. Then you also meet a couple more characters. You meet, I think his name is Sam McMurray. The guy ends up, he's Nicolas Cage's boss, and he's got a wife and a bunch of just rotten kids that they've adopted. And they get sent over there for a picnic, and that's where they're talking about them adopting Nathan Jr., which they called like Ed Jr. and Hyde Jr. is, so it's just things don't add up. Then you find out, as Nicolas Cage is talking to his boss, that he's just not happy at home. It's just, it's just how it is. And then you find out that his boss and his wife are swingers, and he's asking if he and his wife are. And then he punches his boss. The boss runs into like a palm tree or something like that. So obviously that's not a good thing to do to your boss. Then you get this hilarious scene of Nicolas Cage going to the grocery store to pick up some Huggies for the baby. Or I should say, that's what happens first. Is he's actually, it's the wife, Holly Hunter, the baby, and Nicolas Cage at a convenience store, and that's where they're going to pick up some Huggies. And while he's in there, Holly Hunter and the baby are in there singing and stuff like that. And then she looks up there and notices that he's actually sticking up the clerk and trying to rob the place again. So she runs off. She bolts, and the police have already been called at this point. So he's running, and then there's an absolute hilarious scene between him and an old guy in a truck. And he's got like a pantyhose on his head, and he's like, "Son, you got a panty on your head." It's hilarious. And then there's, when he puts the brakes on, he flies out of the window, and then he runs into a house, and that's when the police are following him. He goes into a grocery store trying to grab some more Huggies. Then there's some, it's slapstick humor, people. I mean, that's what it really is. Nothing to take serious. It's all funny and fun and games, stuff like that. When he gets out, finally, that's when the wife and the baby had a change of heart and went to go pick him up. When he got back to home, obviously those two weren't happy, and then you find out that John Goodman and the other guy are still there, and that's when she lays down the law and says, "You guys are out of here in the morning, and if you aren't, gone, then she's gonna handle things somehow." So basically, we're going to speed up a little bit. They find out, John Goodman and the other guy find out that Nathan Jr. is Nathan Jr. and that they're looking for a reward. And so they wrap up Nicolas Cage and steal the baby and hoping for a reward. Well, then they're going to go rob a bank. This is just a little homemade, redneck type bank, and they have the baby. The interaction here is hilarious with the baby. Basically, what happened, and there's also I don't know what you call it. I guess there's a guy on a motorcycle that's there to pick up the baby and get a reward. It's either get a reward or do something with the baby. So there's an interaction between them also. In the long run, they get the baby back, and they have a change of heart. They bring it back to Nathan Jr. They go in back in the window, and they get caught. And explain things to them, what's going on. And fortunately for them, they don't press charges. They said no harm, no foul. The baby's back. Seems like they're a good couple, just trying, they're not trying to do the wrong thing. They just, just a last second thing that they did. And then you're flashed to a dream. There's a couple dreams that he has in here, and some of them, they're just funny. It's in his head. But you're flashed to the future, and you notice that there's grandkids and an older couple who they think is themselves. And so, to me, that's showing that eventually they're going to keep trying, and they actually have babies. So it actually ends that way, and it ends on a pretty good note too. Absolutely hilarious movie. Out of 10, I give it 9 out of 10. If you just want a night of humor and slapstick comedy, go watch this one. Again, I only have the disc, so go watch Raising Arizona. Nicolas Cage is outstanding on it. He's so funny. This is very early Nicolas Cage, so please feel free to comment below, like the video, subscribe. Also, go onto Facebook if you haven't. Go to facebook.com/DVD Review Dude, and that's where I post my videos and comment on that Facebook page. So I would appreciate that very much. And thank you very much, everybody. And we will see you next time with another video review. Have a good night.